Moving closer to kickoff in Nashville, where the Titans have not won a home game in over a year. Dolphins and Titans coming up, and today's game is being broadcast in Spanish, where available using the SAP button on your television.
Presenting Subway Fresh Buzz. Subway, the official training restaurant of athletes everywhere.
Hey, let's go, E3! Fingers down, 3! 1, 2, 3!
Behind fourth quarter touchdowns by Tyler Eifert and Andy Dalton, the Bengals rallied from 17 points down to force a tie with the Seahawks last week. In overtime, the Bengals won with a kick from Mike Nugent and improved to 5-0 for the first time since 1988 by beating the defending NFC champs.
What's with the helmet?
Oh, well, I got a life coach.
What's that like?
Wake up! Take the stairs! Say hello!
Hello.
Not him, her!
Hello.
No.
You don't need a life coach. Subway makes better choices easy, like the low-fat, sweet onion chicken teriyaki. All-white meat, crisp veggies, freshly baked bread, under 400 calories. Subway, eat fresh.
Come on, use your head!
CBS Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Moments away from kickoff, and we can only imagine what's running through the mind of Dan Campbell, and he's not the only one in a new role today. After Joe Philpin was fired and Campbell took over, Kevin Coyle was let go as defensive coordinator, and secondary coach Lou Anarumo was promoted. He's never been a coordinator in the NFL, and special teams coach Darren Rizzi will be Campbell's right-hand man on strategic decisions, including coaches' challenges. Dan Campbell wasn't sure if he would sleep last night. That's just how excited he was for the game. And we are underway, week 6 of the NFL on CBS. Tennessee won the toss. They have deferred. And Damian Williams fumbles the kickoff, recovers. And Williams up to the 20-yard line. Last week, Tennessee fumbled the opening kickoff here in Nashville, Bishop Sankey, but he was able to recover as Ryan Tannehill comes out. 7 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. His completion percentage right now is a career low at just 56%.
And the challenge, I think, for Ryan Tannehill is going to be stepping up and assuming the role of leader and accountable person on this football team. He's got to be more assertive as this season turns.
Miami wants to run the ball today, and that's the way they start, with Lamar Miller getting a couple on the carry. Take a look at the Miami starting offense and a change at right guard as Jamil Douglas will no longer start. Billy Turner gets an opportunity today blocking for Ryan Tannehill, and Kenny Stills is another lineup change for Miami as he is now starting ahead of the veteran Greg Jennings.
Yeah, Stills coming over from New Orleans in the trade. He has a reputation for getting a large average per catch, so look for him to catch the football and make yards after he does.
Deion Sims back after suffering a concussion week 1. Miami with another run. Miller changes direction, and Lamar Miller has a first down. A gain of 13 for the Miami running back. So we look at the Tennessee defense. Sammy Hill out once again, has not played yet this year, so Al Woods starts at nose tackle. Big loss at linebacker today for the Titans as Avery Williamson not able to go because of a hamstring injury. Zach Brown starts, and Parrish Cox also a little banged up.
Yeah, the unrestricted free agent signee from San Francisco, nursing a leg injury, happened later this week in practice. They're hoping he can hold up today.
Tannehill sets up the screen to Miller, gets away from Woodyard, and Miller across the 40 to the 42-yard line.
I think you can count on Miami, as you saw there, to use a lot of misdirection. And we spoke to Tannehill yesterday. You kind of say, what's the vibe about this coaching change? And he kind of shrugged his shoulders and said, hey, something had to change. And I think that was the tenor, not only in the locker room, but all over Miami and Dolphin Nation. Something had to change for this team with the expectations where they were.
2nd and 6. Cameron goes in motion. Another run. Miller to the 45. It will be 3rd down and short.
This is exactly what Dan Campbell was looking for. He told us he's looking for 3, 4, 5-yard runs out of Lamar Miller. This is exactly the kind of situation they want to find themselves in. 3rd and short.
Tannehill fires. It's caught by Rashard Matthews for a 1st down. Big hit by Michael Griffin, but the Dolphins move the chains.
Well, he knows he's going to get hit. Tannehill puts it right into his chest, and that's all he can ask for. You know that's the kind of play you're going to have on a quick slant. Tannehill stares him down to begin with, which gives Griffin a chance to wind up. Griffin, nice shoulder hit, no leading with the helmet, but wow, that's a good NFL play on both ends of it. Miami comes out on top of the 1st down.
3 minutes in, Dolphins at midfield on 1st and 10. It's a play-action pass. Tannehill to Matthews again. All the way inside the 30-yard line for another Miami 1st down, a gain of 22.
Well, when you get the running game going, it opens up the play action right there. Great job faking the ball and over the top. Easy throw and catch on that play. Rashard Matthews, a beneficiary.
Yeah, one of the things about this Dolphin team that has struggled with slow starts, you see there, their point differential. They can't score, don't move the football in the first part of these games. Maybe Dan Campbell has something going on with his team with their energy here early.
They've been outscored 37-3 in the 1st quarter, and Campbell told us last night he was going to do everything to keep Tannehill clean in the 1st quarter, try to get in some type of rhythm as a flag is thrown on the Damian Williams carry. Today's referee is Jeff Triplett.
Offside defense, number 95. Jumped in the neutral zone, 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
That's on the rookie Angelo Blackson, but we've discussed all the amount of passes that Miami has thrown this year. 73% of the time they throw the football. And in order to get back to that balance, they thought they had to get off to a better start because so many times in the 1st quarter this year, they're playing from behind.
Yeah, they're rushing for less than 70 yards per game. That's 31st in the NFL. No NFL teams are successful offensively running the ball that little and that unsuccessfully.
How about this to Landry? Inside the 20, Landry at the 10. Landry still going, and for a touchdown! What a run by Jarvis Landry!
Well, Dan Campbell's got to love that start. But you can see this play develop. We mentioned earlier a lot of misdirection. There's no question Tannehill's going to look to the left, give it back to the right on the end around. Look how well it's blocked out front. Matthews gets the great block, and then, of course, the broken tackle by Landry. And he's such a great kick returner. This is exactly what you're looking at. A lot of space, a lot of places for him to move and make people miss. But that is a nice physical broken tackle to get into the end zone.
Nice creativity by Billy Lazor, the offensive coordinator, showing a few new wrinkles for this Dolphins offense.
First career rushing touchdown for Jarvis Landry. Extra point by Andrew Franks is good, and the Dolphins strike on their opening drive. Landry finishing the run, and Dan Campbell has his first lead.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest. Transparency. Low fares, nothing to hide. FedEx. Solutions that matter. And by Toyota. Let's go places.
Back in Nashville, a lot of Dolphins fans have made the trip to the Music City. They always travel well, and they've seen Miami jump out to a 7-0 lead as Marcus Mariota with his first chance here in Week 6. 8 touchdowns, 3 interceptions on the season for the rookie quarterback. Kendall Wright. I mean, he is stuffed. That Miami defense was not fooled by that play. We take a look at the Tennessee starting offense. Chance Warmack, after missing the last 2 games because of a knee injury, back in at right guard. He'll be challenged by Ndamukong Suh today. And you saw Kendall Wright. He's made some comments last week after the game that didn't feel like he was relevant in the offense, wanted to get the ball more. We spoke with him yesterday. He said he felt embarrassed and he apologized to his teammates for those comments. And the one thing he did say is, I want to get the ball earlier, as Delaney Walker makes the catch at the 30. And they obliged on that first play. They threw it right to Kendall Wright.
Yeah, they wanted, Kendall Wright made it clear. He just wants to be more involved early in the ball game, get his rhythm going. But we saw right there, coming right back to his favorite target, Delaney Walker. Marcus Mariota throws to the tight end more than any quarterback in the NFL. He's really got a security blanket in Delaney Walker and also Anthony Fasano.
34% of Mariota's completions go to the tight ends. Walker has his first grab of the day, and Walker in motion on 1st and 10. Mariota rolling out, throws, caught by Douglas, and he's got another Tennessee first down. Brent Grimes forced him out after a gain of 11. Look at the Miami defense. Cameron Wake, we spoke with him last night. That hamstring, boy, he needed that bye. It's still been bothering him, trying to get him going this year. Jelani Jenkins is 3rd on the team in tackles. And in the secondary, Brent Grimes listed as questionable.
Yeah, and you see there, Brent Grimes was limited in practice all week, and I think you can look for Tennessee to go after him to see if he's healthy. And there you see the new defensive coordinator, Lou Anarumo.
Grimes with a sprained knee against the Jets, but able to go despite being listed as questionable. McCluster on the carry. McCluster into Miami territory. A gain of 16 for the 6th-year man out of Mississippi.
This is just a good, solid sweep. You know, you got a lot of talented running backs here in Tennessee. Dexter McCluster, a guy that really is quick getting to the edge, to the outside. You try and find ways to be creative with it. When he gets that lane on the outside, there are very few athletes in the NFL with more explosive quickness than Dexter McCluster.
4 different leading rushers in the first 4 games of the season for Tennessee. Mariota led them in rushing last week against the Bills. And McCluster is popped by Rashad Jones on the sideline. Rashad Jones playing at a Pro Bowl level, according to Dan Campbell. This is a big-time hit.
Technically, he's out of bounds there, and he gets the good shot right there at the sideline. That's a good no call, though. I mean, you can't expect the defender to know exactly where that guy's foot comes down, and that's catching him in the air and knocking him out of bounds. No question, it's a good move by Tennessee, though. Use a lot of misdirection against an emotionally charged Miami defense. You knew they'd be sky high with a new head coach. Use misdirection, let them over-pursue to take advantage of it.
Dan Campbell wanted his team to be more physical. He had some very physical practices over the last 10 days. He's Green Beckham with a nice out route for another Tennessee first down. And you saw that physicality on that hit by Jones.
We got a man down in the backfield for Miami. But what a nice throw and catch. Good to see Tennessee getting Dorial Green Beckham involved early. I think he's going to be a factor as this season goes along for Tennessee. You see right there a real nice route. That's one of the things that Kendall Wright told us for a big man. This guy's 6'5", 237 pounds. He has great feet for a big man.
Jordan Phillips, the injured Dolphin. We're back to Nashville right after this.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by FanDuel, the leader in one-week fantasy football. And by Chili's Mix and Match Fajitas with new prime rib and shrimp.
It's week 6 of the NFL on CBS. 5:28 to go first quarter. Miami has a 7-3 lead as Suckup kicks it away. Damian Williams, the return man for the Dolphins. This goes through the end zone, and Miami will start at the 20. Let's go back to that touchdown by the Dolphins.
Well, right here, look, here's Jarvis Landry. But what you want to look at as the play develops, you're going to look at the flow, the fake by Ryan Tannehill this way. The flow gets the whole defense going there, and then you're going to see Jarvis Landry coming around here, and you're going to see nothing in front of him but green grass. It ends up coming up perfectly like Billy Laser wanted it. He's got blockers out in front of him, and then the great individual effort toward the end when he breaks 3 tackles right through the middle of them. Really nice design. The play action fake by Tannehill, I think, got the flow going, opened up everything backside.
It's Lamar Miller on first down, and Miller with a gain of 6 on first down.
And here's that fake we were talking about from Ryan Tannehill in that play. You see the fake screen pass. Even though the ball wasn't in his hand, you see the reaction out of the Titans defenders. That one step is all it needs to create a seam for Jarvis Landry coming back the other way.
Both these teams depend so much on fast pursuit. If you can take advantage of it with misdirection, you can get some big plays.
Miami already has 49 yards rushing. They average 69 per game. And Tannehill's going to take off here. Around the left side with some room. Tannehill finally dragged down at the 43-yard line. A gain of 17 for number 17. And now a flag comes in at the 26-yard line.
Well, I know that this is a call play. I mean, it's absolutely obvious. And the reason this works is because the defense never accounts for the quarterback just taking off and running.
Offense, number 84. A 10-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
But the call against Jordan Cameron wipes out the run.
But you can't do that very much because you're just asking to get your quarterback lit up. I mean, that when your quarterback's got the ball tucked under his arm, all you're going to do, right there at the end, right there. All you're trying to do as a defense is put your crosshairs on number 17, and that spells problems if you do that too much. It takes one snap out of 1,000 for a team to lose their starting quarterback.
Following the penalty, it's second down and 14. Tannehill, pass is caught at the 30-yard line. That was Matthews bringing it in, and that's good for a Miami first down, a gain of 17.
Well, that's a nice conversion for Miami. You got another player down. This is a Tennessee Titan player.
That's Michael Griffin.
Michael Griffin, yes. But a good call by Billy Lazor right there, throwing the slant, trying to pick up half of it, but you get it in the hands of one of these talented receivers. They turn and go north and south, picks up the first down.
Griffin, the 9th-year safety out of Texas, now being attended to by the Titans training staff.
You are watching NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 50.
Michael Griffin hobbled off trying to stretch out his left leg, so we'll keep an eye on that. The 9th-year man out of Texas. Inside 4 minutes to go first quarter. On first down, Tannehill play action. Has some room to run, and he will. Tannehill at the 40 and slides down right at the chains. With the spot, they're going to give him a first down.
Well, Dan Campbell told us that he trusts Ryan Tannehill to run the ball, make good decisions right here. You see the acceleration, his ability to tuck it and go, but you do not want him taking hits at the end of those plays. Get what you can get down.
Yeah, they didn't get a very good spot. He should have been a first down. He did not, and they did give it to him actually good.
3:20 to go in the opening quarter. Miller on the ground up to the 45-yard line. So you saw Michael Griffin hobble off. We'll see if he can come back. Meanwhile, Parrish Cox, who we mentioned earlier, questionable with a hamstring injury, was able to go, but he's not out there right now. We've been told that his return is questionable. So a couple of injuries now in that Tennessee secondary. Cox, the 5th-year corner out of Oklahoma State. Miller around the right side. Lamar Miller with some room. Lamar Miller into Tennessee territory. Up to the 33-yard line.
Well, we spoke to Dan Campbell and Billy Lazor. They both told us that really the idea was just to get 4 yards. They've been preaching to Lamar Miller about just get what's there. The yardage is there. The big plays will happen, but we've got to stay on schedule. In a 2nd and 6, a 3rd and 2, on 1st and 2nd down is when there's going to be the huge difference for this Miami offense. And on these plays, Miami really getting it done up front.
Miami has run on 7 of its 11 plays so far in the first quarter. This time to the air. Tannehill looking for Landry, and it's caught. Landry at the 15. They're saying he was down. What a grab, though, by Jarvis Landry as the Dolphins offense continues to click.
Again, set up. You see a nice route by Jarvis Landry coming across the field, but again, set up. You mentioned it, Andrew. 7 of the 11 plays have been runs. They're running the ball effectively. That creates holes in the defense off the play-action game, and Ryan Tannehill very accurate with that football today.
Miami in the red zone. They're 5 of 10 coming into the day, scoring touchdowns inside the 20. This is Jonas Gray on the carry, and Tennessee able to meet him at the line of scrimmage. Never miss a moment of football action with the CBS Sports app. Every play, every story, and every highlight right as they happen. Download the CBS Sports app now at cbssports.com/mobile.
So now again, we saw another attempt at a run on first down there from Miami. This is a team that over the first 4 games of the year only ran the ball 65 times. That's the lowest in the last 50 years in the NFL. So a new commitment under Dan Campbell to run that football.
Tannehill's pass is incomplete. Pressure was coming. Jarrell Casey, who had a big game last week against the Bills with 1.5 sacks and 6 tackles, got right up in Tannehill's face.
Well, he comes right up the middle, and you can see he's the one who hits Tannehill's arm. Tannehill can't throw that football, and that was very quick pressure, which is always a problem. If you're going to do a quick pass game and you've got a player as good as Jarrell Casey, the ball has to come out, and even when it does come out on time, Casey, if he gets a one-on-one, can still disrupt it.
First incompletion today for Tannehill, and now it's 3rd down and 13. Could be the final play of the quarter. Tannehill to Landry at the 10. Landry keeping his feet moving and is brought down short of the first down marker. It'll be 4th and short. And there are 10 seconds left in the first quarter.
Interesting, Rizzi, the head coaching assistant, ran to Dan Campbell right there in the headset and said, you got to take a timeout right here. Taking it at the 10-second mark, Campbell ran down the sidelines to get the timeout.
It's not that windy here today, which is a bit surprising to me that they would want to use a timeout.
I don't get that at all.
I don't either.
It's a chip shot field goal. Either way, I mean.
Now, Rizzi is the special teams coordinator, so maybe there's a consideration with the kicker that we don't know about. But no question, he herded Dan Campbell down the sideline to get that timeout. And for what reason? I'm a little bit confused as well.
Dan Campbell told us he was going to trust Rizzi implicitly because of his experience with this
maybe
kind of situation.
That's the reason. Now they're going to go for it as Jarvis Landry and the offense comes back out of 4th down. There's the reason right there. You take the timeout.
Well, I question this right now. This is 4th and 4. I think you take the field goal all the way, unless you're trying to draw them off sides.
Miami's 1 for 10 on 4th downs this year.
They're trying to draw them off sides. They're not going to run a play. They're going to take a 5-yard penalty and then kick the field goal.
That's still a waste of a timeout.
Yeah.
And that's, that may be some on the coach's sideline. You put that on a brand new head coach, just getting the sideline atmosphere the way he wants it.
And it's a play that you would do maybe in a 4th and 1, a short yarded situation where they really believe you're going to line up and run the football. 4th and 4, they're not worried about you lining up in a run formation.
That's the coaching staff.
That's right. That's an experience.
They're finding their legs.
Yep.
So a wasted timeout here
and
late in the first quarter.
Andrew. The 5-yard penalty does not hurt you, obviously, on a chip shot field goal. So you don't worry about that, but you're right. You waste the timeout. Those are things that come back to haunt you late in the half or late in the ball game.
So Andrew Franks is out for a 30-yard field goal attempt. The rookie is 3 for 4 on the season. Franks' kick is good, and Miami takes a 10-3 lead with 6 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Your weekend starts here with the Seahawks and the 49ers, a showdown in the Wild West. It's Thursday Night Football on CBS and NFL Network. And San Francisco's done a good job at home of late against the Seahawks, winning 5 of the last 6 meetings. Well, Dan Campbell said that throughout the week he was going to talk with Darren Rizzi, the special teams coach, who was also promoted to assistant head coach, about specific game situations, timeouts, challenges, and certainly a questionable one there, using the timeout before they kick the field goal, as a touchback by Franks in Tennessee will start at the 20-yard line. Miami had only scored 3 points in the first quarter this year in their first 4 games. They have 10 today, and that was a big thing that Campbell hit hard this week at practice. Get off to a fast start, and they have scored on both of their possessions.
You knew it would be a big emotional lift for the Dolphins coming in here on the road in the us versus the world mentality with a new head coach. It'll be interesting to see if this emotion that they get from Dan Campbell will carry through 4 quarters.
Antonio Andrews at running back on 1st and 10. Mariota over the middle to Walker for another Tennessee first down. Second catch for Delaney Walker. And that is the end of the first quarter. Miami leads 10-3. We'll return to Nashville after these messages. You're watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 50. Start of the second quarter in Nashville. Miami leads Tennessee 10-3 with Steve Berline and Steve Tasker. I'm Andrew Catalan, our producer Vic Frank, our director Jim Cornell, our entire NFL on CBS crew. Week 6, as both these teams try to stop 3-game losing streaks. Andrews with the carry, and Antonio Andrews pushing the pile forward. Andrews described his running style this week as blue-collar football. And a late flag comes in the secondary.
After the play is over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 24 in the defense. 15-yard penalty at the end of the play, automatic first down.
That goes against Bryce McCain of the Dolphins. And that penalty moves Tennessee into Miami territory.
That happened so late. I did not see what happened. And it was, there wasn't a scuffle or anything. I don't have any idea what that penalty was.
To give to Andrews at the 45, lowers his shoulder up to the 42-yard line. The only 2 teams that have had a different leading rusher in all 4 games this season in the NFL are the Titans and the Dolphins. Antonio Andrews had a big game week 3 against the Colts. Last week it was Marcus Mariota finally using his legs with 5 carries for 47 yards. Tennessee continues to rotate running backs. Bishop Sankey now standing next to Mariota in the gun. Cameron Wake coming with pressure, and the Dolphins have their first sack since week 1. Cameron Wake only had 1 tackle through the first 4 games of the season, but he brought the heat on this play.
Well, it's Cameron Wake and also Ndamukong Suh. They both, the 2 guys that the Dolphins have been expecting to get it done, do so right here. Suh and Wake jumping in, getting penetration. Ndamukong Suh beating a double team, and Wake in the speed rush on the outside against Patasi. Wow, that's what the Dolphins have been looking for.
That hamstring looked pretty good. You mentioned it too, Andrew, earlier in the game. That was explosive off the edge by Cameron Wake.
Mariota looking sideline. Catch is made, but out of bounds was the receiver. And look, Marcus Mariota is shaken up. There is a flag down, but Mariota is the concern right now.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 50 on the defense. 15 yards, automatic first down.
Well, that's Vernon coming off the edge for the Dolphins, getting there. It looked like a little bit late, perhaps low on the back. And the crowd just got a load of this replay right here. And that's
the left leg.
And he may get hurt by his pocketbook on that.
Well,
Ken Wisenhunt out to check on his rookie quarterback. We're back in a moment.
I think we're just going to circle it with this.
Okay.
Zach Mettenberger out on the field. He'll have to play at least one snap at quarterback, but it could be more after this low hit by Olivier Vernon on Marcus Mariota.
And the question is whether or not the rusher who hits Mariota was tripped or went low by his own volition. He decided to go low.
Now he can stay in.
Yeah, there was a penalty.
And has elected to do so.
How about that? Doesn't want to miss a play. Because of the penalty, did not have to come out for a snap. Mettenberger was out there taking snaps, thinking he was going in, but Marcus Mariota showing his toughness.
Here's the look. You're going to see Vernon right here. He spins off it, and look at this. He's not tripped. He goes low at Marcus Mariota, below the waist. That's going to get a little bit of attention from the NFL. Be surprised if he doesn't get fined for that low hit.
Let's see how Mariota moves. He'll hand it off here on first down to Sankey up to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, Mariota's limping a little bit, although, you got to think if he's staying in, he thinks he can walk it off as we look back. This is what happened from another angle. You can see Vernon coming in right there, and that's where the leg gets knocked. And that's a pretty scary thing for a quarterback. And I think they protect those guys for a reason. You need those guys in the game, and Vernon went in low. And the left tackle, Taylor Lewan, had a few words for Vernon between those plays as well.
And Mariota's showing me something, though. What toughness.
Mettenberger staying loose just in case. On second down, Mariota. Screen. He's clearly limping. Sankey on the screen. It'll be third and short, but Mariota did not show good mobility on that play.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to run the football at all today. That'll have to change his game.
I don't think he'll be able to play at halftime, even if he makes it to the first half. That knee's going to tighten up on him. You can just tell he is so ginger on that leg. I don't think he's going to be able to finish the game.
Well, here's the thing, Steve Berline, and you know as I do, you have to protect the players from themselves.
Sure.
And Ken Wisenhunt may be the guy that puts his hand on his shoulder and says, you're done.
They're watching very closely right now. They're looking at the same things we are.
Keep him in the shotgun on third down and 5. Mariota in trouble, passes up in the air. It's ruled incomplete. There is a flag down. But Mariota looking right at that pressure from Miami.
We got a hold against Tennessee. This goes to Dan Campbell. He may want to decline this penalty, put it to fourth down, or he may accept it and get him out of field goal range.
Offense, number 70. The penalties decline. Resulting plays fourth down.
It goes on Chance Warmack. He's matched up with Sue today, and Wisenhunt's going to send out Suckup for a long field goal. Dan Campbell said he was going to cut his front four loose today. He needed to get them going at the quarterback in Miami, which has struggled to put pressure all season, is getting to Marcus Mariota.
I think it's a mistake for them to decline that penalty.
I think they should have taken the penalty as well.
Yeah, they're challenging this play on whether it was a completed pass or an incomplete pass.
Or fumble.
Yeah, and I think there are a couple of things that Campbell could have done. He could have accepted the penalty. That would have put the ball all the way back to the 38-yard line, making it a 55-yard attempt.
With the wind blowing.
Against him.
Miami is challenging the ruling on the field of an incomplete pass.
And there was a clear recovery by Miami.
So Dan Campbell, for the first time, has thrown the red challenge flag here in Nashville.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Bud Light. Make the right call. Drink responsibly. Acura, the leading automotive brand in safety performance. And by AT&T. DirecTV and AT&T are now one, bringing television and wireless together.
After review, the ruling on the field has changed. The quarterback lost the ball in his hand before it started forward. It is a fumble with a clear recovery by Miami at the 27-yard line. The clock is correct. Miami is not charged a timeout.
Dan Campbell's first challenge is a successful one, as Marcus Mariota has worked on the sideline. Let's go back to New York, our officiating expert, Mike Carey. And what did you see on this play, Mike?
Well, what we see, if you look closely, when Mariota brings his hand backwards, the ball comes loose. So that's a fumble, clear and obvious. The recovery is clear and obvious. Dan Campbell gets his first challenge, 1-for-1 in the NFL.
He should keep that red flag, put it up on his mantle. Thank you, Mike.
Give credit to Darren Rizzi, too, for...
And Miami with room to run, and Lamar Miller all the way up close to midfield. A gain of 20. Now here's how the mechanics work on that challenge from Miami. Darren Rizzi's the special teams coach, and he's the one that tells Campbell to throw the flag. But that's because up in the booth, the assistant special teams coach, Marwin Malouf, is the guy that Dan Campbell is relying on to tell him and Rizzi when to challenge. Campbell said that he's not going to listen to anybody but Malouf. So Malouf saw it upstairs, radioed the special teams coach Rizzi, who told Campbell to throw the flag in Miami with a successful one. Tannehill has some time. Now it's caught by Deion Sims, who, again, playing in his first game since suffering that concussion week 1.
Well, that was a long chain of command that you just narrated, but it went Dan Campbell's way, and yeah, little success there, yeah. He's still, at heart, he's still a player. I mean, there's no question. We all thought that when we met with him yesterday, and I think the players responded to him, and that's one of his greatest assets.
Tannehill over the middle. It's intercepted. Michael Griffin off the deflection. Griffin with some room to run. Griffin dragged down at the 31-yard line. The pass was tipped, and Michael Griffin comes away with his 25th career interception.
Tipped passes are the bane of a quarterback, and that was tipped by the receiver. And that's the one thing that's going to go against Tannehill's numbers, but that's the fault of Jordan Cameron. It went right off both hands, and you got to pull it in.
You got to give credit to Cersei, though, too. I mean, we can't tell for sure if he didn't get a piece of that. It looked like Cameron's got to get. He had both paws on it, but that was pretty good coverage by Cersei, too.
Griffin is the 9th in franchise history to record 25 interceptions. It's the 6th pick of the year by Tannehill, and Marcus Mariota is back in there for the Titans under center. Took a low hit on the last drive. Let's see how he responds now. Off the turnover, they'll start on the ground with Andrews. A flag is down, and Andrews is tossed out of bounds. A little extracurricular over there now on the Miami sideline.
Yeah, you can bet Taylor Lewan is in the middle of it.
Byron Bell is the offensive lineman for Tennessee, and yes, Lewan is there as well. Lewan once told us that jawing is healthy for the soul. That's how Taylor likes to operate.
Yeah, he's an old soul, too, if that's the case, because he does a lot of it. This is a team you can tell right now, even at this early stage in the first half.
Holding, 77 offense, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
This Miami Dolphins team is playing with an enthusiasm and fire that we have not seen this season. Make of it what you will, blame or give credit to whoever you will. This is a different emotional state for the Miami Dolphins. And this is how the scuffle started. You get into your opponent. Oh, there you go. He didn't like the extra bit of that.
There's Bobby McCain, the rookie, who took a little extra swing.
Well, it's not a really good idea to go into your opponent's bench area and do that. That's a young...
Taylor Lewan, though, he had 2 big penalties last week. We remember that cost Tennessee significantly right there, another holding penalty. He's got to focus on taking care of himself right now.
Mariota with time, and that pass is incomplete. Off the hands of Harry Douglas, who nearly reeled that one in.
Let's look at Mariota again here, see how he looks on this throw, coming out of the play-action fake. Looked a little bit better, a little bit more confident that time, but I'm just still not convinced that he's got the confidence to move quickly off of that left leg.
Yeah, no question. It looks like he's throwing the football okay, but he's not going to run it, and they're going to have to make sure that that part of their game plan and that part of the consideration for the Miami defense goes away. He's not running the football today.
He's got a brace on there, too, now.
Mariota. That pass is caught by Justin Hunter. Hunter is 6'4". He's got a 78-inch wingspan, and he used his big frame to bring this one in.
Yeah, this ball was snapped early. Nobody on the offense was quite ready for that ball to be snapped. Schwenke got rid of it a little bit quick, but this is a great job in the secondary as Hunter goes up high and gets that. That's why 6'4" receiver every so often, man, does that come in handy.
And Tennessee has called a timeout with 8:58 to go in the first half, staring at a 3rd down and 3 after the 17-yard catch by Justin Hunter.
Yeah, Marcus Mariota, I mean, you can't say enough about how he has won his teammates over. He was dealing with an ankle 2 weeks ago. He's hobbled in practice, continued to take every rep. Here today, we saw him go down and stay down, the team electing to use a timeout to keep him in the game, and he's significantly hobbled today.
Tomorrow on CBS, the team of geniuses throw a Hail Mary to stop a bomb from landing in the wrong hands. Catch a brilliant new Scorpion tomorrow at 9/8 Central, only CBS.
An outstanding job by Tennessee to get themselves into a 3rd and 3 after the holding penalty on 1st down.
Let's see if they can convert. Tennessee 0 for 2 on 3rd downs today. Mariota lost the football. Ball is out again. And it's scooped up by Taylor. Taylor off to the races. And he is dragged down by Delaney Walker, who may have saved a touchdown. The Dolphins force another turnover here in the first half. And they'll have great field position with 8:46 to go.
Well, this is the kind of play that the front four Miami can get. Watch just a 4-man rush, and the pocket collapses around him. Cameron Wake once again reaches in with his right arm around right tackle Patasi and knocks the football loose in the pocket. And you got to wonder if Mariota is hobbled so much he doesn't want to run, doesn't feel the pressure, or can't get away from it the way he normally would.
Well, I think it's going to affect him in every part of his game right there. That right there, though, was just a great individual effort by Cameron Wake. And we did hear from Dan Campbell. They wanted to get that pressure with 4 people. They're doing it.
Cameron Wake has 3 sacks today, after only having 1 tackle through the first 4 games of the season. Remember, Miami only had 1 sack in the first 4. Wake's exploding today, and we sat with him last night. He's been battling that hamstring injury since week 1, and he said, you know, when you see the schedule come out, you have an early bye week. You never really want that early bye week, but he said the bye could not have come at a better time for him, and he's showing why today. Tannehill to Miller, and he's wrapped up quickly. It was Wesley Woodyard closing for the Tennessee defense. Well, this Tennessee without Avery Williamson today, the inside backer.
Excuse me, this Tennessee defense, I think it's been underrated. They have really taken a step forward. We talked about it in the open with Dick LeBeau on their side of the football now, along with Ray Horton. They have been really the strength of this team. The surprise has been Marcus Mariota, but the strength has been this defense.
3rd down and 10. Tannehill looking for Cameron, and he's got it for a Miami 1st down. First catch today for the tight end Cameron, a gain of 13.
Well, that's why Cameron is such a big asset. You get this tight end a one-on-one with a safety, Denoris Searcy, and that's the difference. You get a tight end who can beat a safety one-on-one, you're going to go to that. A lot of safeties can't do that. Tannehill taking the heat but delivering the football. That's the matchup you can bet the Dolphins will go back to.
And the Dolphins have been good on third down. And they were 0 for 16 2 weeks ago against the New York Jets on third down.
Third down and fourth down. 0 for 12 on third, 0 for 4 on fourth. Tannehill, and Lamar Miller wasn't ready for it. It was nearly intercepted.
That's a miscommunication. That's a bad play right there. Really the first one we've seen.
Trust me, this is a terrible feeling if you're the quarterback. Ryan Tannehill, he's trying to find his check down. He thinks Lamar Miller is going to turn right around right there. And the realization that he broke out and he's thinking, oh my gosh, this ball's going to get entered. It's the worst feeling a quarterback could possibly have.
You start calculating the cutoff angle on the interception.
Oh, yeah.
So you're saying you've had that feeling before?
Never, not me, no.
Second and 10. Miller with some room to run. Miller to the 10-yard line. How about this? Miami has already set a season high in rush yards today.
Well, coming into this weekend, the Dolphins had only run the football 5 times on third down the entire season. Out of 52 third downs they've faced, they've only run it 5 times, and now they're running it on first, second, and third down. What an enormous difference this week in the Dolphins, their ability to run the football and their commitment to it.
Damian Williams in it, running back on first and goal. Give it to Williams. And he's tripped up and a late flag comes in from behind the play. Miami with 113 yards rushing here in the first half. Their season high was 102.
Holding, number 7 of the offense. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
That's on the right tackle, Juwan James.
Well, let's look at this. We'll see if we can figure out where the holding took place. He's right here on the right side, the right tackle. That's who they called, Juwan James, for the hold. So, I mean, the arm was definitely outside. You could see him wrapped up a little bit, but man.
Yeah, I'm thinking that should have been
He had already caved him down inside. It was not really relevant to the play.
I agree. That should have been a no call.
So it's first and goal, but from the 20-yard line now. Tannehill screen to Deion Sims. Sims to the 10. Sims all the way up to the 6-yard line. Miami gets a big chunk of that penalty yards back. A gain of 13.
Really nice call by Billy Lazor, again, the offensive coordinator. Nice setup and really a difficult throw by Ryan Tannehill. You see how he had to find a way to get that ball to the left side over a jumping defender. That was Deion Sims. Nice to have him back this week and good blocking out in front of Deion Sims. Right there. Look at the effort down the field by the wide receiver. That's Jarvis Landry. A lot more than just a receiver. He's also a great blocker downfield.
Second and goal from the 7-yard line. Lamar Miller to the 5. Miller still moving, and Lamar Miller is in. Touchdown, Miami. That's the first rushing touchdown of the season for Lamar Miller.
Well, this is the kind of statement Dan Campbell would love for his team to make. Just hand it off, let us go right up in between the tackles and get some good yardage. Miller finding his way into the end zone, overcoming the holding call on first down and getting the ball into the end zone. There you see Dan Campbell greeting his players coming off the field, grabbing a handful of jersey. That's a guy that's got some things to say to his players, and they're listening.
Everything Miami has done wrong so far this season, they're doing right today. They're running the football. They're getting after the quarterback. They're playing with passion and emotion.
And they're getting turnovers as well.
Different Miami team, and there is a stoppage before this extra point attempt by Andrew Franks.
This may be reviewed.
We're reviewing the previous play.
All scoring plays are reviewed automatically anyway. They must have seen something with the knee maybe being down before the ball broke the plane.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. It is a touchdown.
It was closer than we thought.
Mike Carey back in New York. And Mike, do you agree with that call?
No, I don't agree with that one.
We don't either.
Here's what you see. Here's what you see. The knee is down. His hand is short of the goal line. The ball's behind his hand. I don't see how we make that a score. But we have a score now.
We do, and we have an extra point by Andrew Franks, and Miami with a 17-3 lead. Thank you very much, Mike. And
let's take a look at it.
Saw.
I don't know if the ball ever does cross the plane. And the knee's down right there.
His elbow and
you see the ball right there. Does it ever really cross the plane? I don't know.
They must not.
I mean, maybe that's the I don't know that we're. I mean, it looks to us like it doesn't.
Not definitive.
Well, Week 6 continues later today on CBS, and for some of you on Fox, and then tonight with Sunday Night Football on NBC, and tune in tomorrow for Monday Night Football on ESPN. Miami is the only team to score 20 points or less in every game this season, and they already have 17 with 5:07 to go in the first half, and they're getting it done on the ground. 120 yards rushing. New season high for Miami. You know, Dan Campbell said he spoke to a number of different mentors and coaches leading up to this first game, including Bill Parcells. He used to play for Parcells, and Campbell said nobody knows the players better than Bill Parcells. Said he only needed one conversation with Parcells to get his message. Part of that message was be yourself and change things up. And Dan Campbell certainly has changed things up with the way he's run practices, with some of the personnel changes that he's made we've seen today, and Parcells gets a little bit of an assist today for Miami's success. Here are some of the changes they've made.
They made the practices much more competitive. There's one-on-one drills, and some of the things in one-handed catch drills, tug-of-war, they do some of these drills with the entire team standing around watching two guys compete, and that's something that not everybody does.
Mariota caught by Kendall Wright to the 26-yard line. Ryan Tannehill told us last night it's the most fun he's ever had at practice.
And that's important. I mean, when you're talking about a team that's been through what this Miami Dolphins team has been through to this point with the coaching change and everything else, for the players to say, hey, you know, we're actually having fun now. We're 1-3, but we're having fun at practice. We got a lot to look forward to.
Did you guys ever have a tug of war during practice?
Not that I can recall.
No, I've never even seen one.
Andrews on the carry. Meanwhile, injury update for Miami. Bryce McCain will not return because of an ankle injury. So the starting corners today for the Dolphins, McCain now out, and Grimes was questionable with a sprained knee.
And I think this is a crucial drive for Tennessee. They've got to answer Miami and stay close here in this first half with 4 minutes and counting down. They've got to get something out of this drive and manufacture first down, stay on the field, and keep Miami's offense off it.
Inside 4 minutes to go, first half. Mariota has some time, looking sideline for Kendall Wright. Nice throw by Mariota, and it's a gain of 14, a Tennessee first down.
This is a great job by Marcus Mariota. When he drops back and gets ready to pass, watch how hard he looks left, and you're going to see the vision complete. He's looking over here initially, and he changes back to the right and throws a strike up the field outside to Kendall Wright. That was a very, very nice play by Marcus Mariota.
Third catch today for Kendall Wright. Mariota over the middle to Delaney Walker, tackled immediately by Rashad Jones, but another Tennessee first down. And all of Walker's catches so far in this half have been on that route right up the middle.
Well, they see something in the matchup. Of course, Walker is the tight end flexed out here at the bottom of your screen. He's such a big target, and Mariota with that quick release, when he sees Jelani Jenkins move underneath Walker, he just lets it fly.
Each team with 2 timeouts remaining here in the first half. 2:55 to go. Bishop Sankey up the middle. Sankey across the 35-yard line. They mark him right at the sticks. And there's an injured Tennessee Titan down on the field.
Schwenke, the center, and that's a loss. I mean,
Chance Warmack, you see him in the foreground here. He had a very sharp reaction to what he saw, and you can see that he is shaken up for his teammate Brian Schwenke.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Walmart. For winning game time recipes, visit walmart.com. And by United States Air Force. Experience more at airforce.com.
It is quiet in Nashville, and the cart is out for Brian Schwenke, the center out of Cal, who has appeared to suffer a very serious injury. We looked at the replays during the break, and we're not going to show you the entire play, but we will give you an idea of what happened to Schwenke. But that's why you saw the reaction of Warmack and other members of the Titans, a nasty injury for the center. He is number 62. And just keep an eye on his leg.
We're going to stop it there.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons, Chance Warmack knew it, he probably heard the injury. And there's no doubt Schwenke's not coming back today. And probably not the rest of the season.
Nice hand from the fans here in Nashville. And now warming up to take over at center is Andy Gallick. And we spoke with Marcus Mariota last week, and he said that Schwenke does so much to help him in terms of identifying coverages, pointing out things that Mariota said that he might not see. So Mariota really relies on the center Schwenke, and now Schwenke being carted off. We'll see how this affects the Tennessee offense.
And it's a rookie center that's replacing him. So a rookie who has not seen nearly enough or as much as Brian Schwenke has seen. And Marcus Mariota now is going to have a lot more on his shoulders.
Well, this is where you're neck deep in the NFL season. Marcus Mariota told us yesterday it's not an easy road. Every week is a challenge. Now they're neck deep in a real battle. They're hobbled by injuries.
He's hurt
young
himself.
people, and he's hurt. This is where you find out how tough it is to win.
Andrews on second down, and he's got the first for Tennessee. With 2:20 to go, 2 timeouts left for the Titans and the 2-minute warning. Mariota trying to go no huddle and get a playoff before the 2-minute warning. Mariota, and that pass is batted down by Ndamukong Suh. Got a hand on that one, and they will be able to run one more play before the 2-minute warning.
And Mariota on this play, again, you can see how he's being affected. He steps up in the pocket, but he just can't move the way he wants to, and he's favoring that left leg. You just wonder if he's going to be able to come out of halftime after sitting in the locker room for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
If he's going to be able to come out and still do it.
Yeah, you cool off, and your leg stiffens up, and there's no question he's hobbled by that left knee.
Second down and 10. Mariota's 10 of 13 in the first half for 103 yards. Pressure coming. Mariota is sacked. Miami with its 4th sack of the day. Olivier Vernon getting back there. And this front four, a different animal today for the Miami Dolphins. Lou Anarumo, the secondary coach, promoted to defensive coordinator. Hasn't been a defensive coordinator since the early 90s with U.S. Merchant Marine Academy, but so far his defense has looked great, and Tennessee with 3rd and 22. Mariota looking for Green Beckham, and he could not make the catch. It was a little bit behind him, but no doubt a catchable ball for the big fella.
You're exactly right, Andrew. I think this ball, Dorial Green Beckham, is a very athletic big man. I think he just missed. He should have been able to adjust a little bit earlier and get that body around and pulled that ball in. I think he was a little late getting that head around. Mariota would like to have that one back. A little pressure in his face. Byron Bell being driven back into his face, but that ball still needs to be caught in a big moment like that by Dorial Green-Beckham.
It would be about a 60-yard field goal from here, so Brett Kern will punt it away. Landry lets it go. It bounces at the 4, and Tennessee downs it and around the 5-yard line. So a good punt there by Brett Kern to pin Miami deep. Well, Miami with only 1 sack in the first 4 games. They have exploded today with 4 sacks of Marcus Mariota.
Yeah, it's been on him all day, and obviously he's hobbled a little bit as well, but it's been just a manhandling up front by this Dolphins front 4, getting to Marcus Mariota, 3 sacks, multiple hits, the ball popping out a couple of times. Now remember, this is a team that, coming into this game, combined had only 28 hurries and knockdowns of opposing quarterbacks. That was 32nd in the NFL. No pressure on the quarterback today. Totally different story.
4 sacks. They've knocked Mariota down 7 times. And Miami runs the ball, and a timeout is called for by Tennessee. Coming up in the Verizon Halftime Report, join JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, and Coach Cower for all the latest NFL scores and highlights, as well as a preview of Thursday Night Football on CBS and the NFL Network. That's all coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. So Ken Wisenhunt trying to get the ball back here, but he only has 1 timeout remaining, with 1:35 to go.
You still got to do it, though. You got to give your team every opportunity to get the football and make something happen before halftime. For Wisenhunt, he's hoping his defense can come up with a big play, get a turnover, but at least get the stop with a chance for a punt return or perhaps a long field goal.
It's Tennessee football to start the second half. Titans trail 17-3. Tannehill. And he just dives forward. Miami content to try to kill the clock and get into the locker room, but Ken Wisenhunt has called his final timeout. It'll be 3rd down with 1:27 to go.
Ken Wisenhunt wants the ball back. You figure if they can hold him here on 3rd down, they'll get the ball back somewhere around midfield with maybe a chance to move into field goal range or a little bit more. So it's smart play by Ken Wisenhunt. Smart decision.
Wake up and watch with the world for the first time ever. The NFL is streaming a live game on Yahoo when the Bills take on the Jaguars from London next Sunday morning at 9:30 Eastern. You can learn more at yahoo.com/NFL stream. So it's 3rd down and 1. So far today on 3rd downs, Miami is 2 for 3. Tannehill in the shotgun. Lamar Miller next to him. They give it to Miller. Up the middle, and Miller has a Miami 1st down. And now if Miami wants, they can kill the clock and get into the locker room. They do have 2 timeouts remaining. Would you do anything differently here if you're the Dolphins?
I think if you're Dan Campbell, I mean, they're going to run up, they're going to up-tempo it here, but I mean, you've got a 17-3 lead. You want to be real conservative, I think, in this situation. You do not want to give them points before the half ends.
They will throw. It's Cameron. Short route. And tripped up by Denoris Searcy. Well, again, Verizon Halftime Report's coming up. JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, and Coach Cower. They'll get you caught up on all the Week 6 scores and highlights. Also have a preview of Thursday Night Football on CBS and the NFL Network. That's the Verizon Halftime Report. 1 minute to go in the first half. Miami does have the 2 timeouts remaining. Wind is picking up a little bit here in Nashville as that pass is caught on the sideline.
Yeah, they got the 1st down with that, and that's the decision making now where it changes for Dan Campbell and his staff.
First catch today for Kenny Stills.
Now that they had some success, really they're only looking to get perhaps a long field goal. They've got 55 seconds and 2 timeouts. That's time enough for them. to get something going, particularly since they've had early success here. And they've gotten kind of they got some breathing room in their own end.
Now Stills slowly walks off and being looked at by the training staff on the Miami sideline. Stills got the start today ahead of Greg Jennings.
Now that cost him a timeout. Stills couldn't get off the field. The trainers walked out to meet him, and that cost Miami a timeout.
Yeah, that's significant, and yeah, I do believe still though that Miami, even if they had that extra time, we're going to see them be pretty conservative here anyway. It's going to be safe passes to the outside, trying to get the ball out of bounds, stop the clock. You're not going to see them being too aggressive.
But if they're trying to be conservative, they wouldn't throw the football at all.
Well, but I mean safe passes to the outside. You're not going to see many balls pushing it up the field over the middle right now.
Goes in motion to the bottom of the screen. Tannehill over the middle. That pass is caught by Jennings right at the chains. Now it's a first down with the spot. One timeout left.
Yeah, now they take the timeout. Yeah, Miami, and I don't know if I'd have taken the timeout there. I think it would have spiked it with a first down. Now they take the timeout with 46 seconds. They still need 25 yards to get inside field goal range. I think I would have saved the timeout, let Tannehill run up on first down and spike it and save the timeout. You need the timeout worse than you need the down at this point.
Well, this is very much what Dan Campbell, I don't want to say was concerned about, but certainly he knew there was going to be different things thrown at him during a game on the sideline for the first time as head coach. He continued to tell us it was a group effort with all of his staff helping on these decisions, but until you actually get out there and face it, it's tough to make these calls.
You're exactly right. And I am surprised. I'm going to be honest, Steve Tess, you and I have been debating this. He's showing a lot of confidence in this offense, letting them be aggressive and trying to get into field goal range. I thought with the 17-3 lead, you wouldn't even want to consider going for it and being conservative. You want to protect that lead, take it into half, but a lot of confidence he's showing.
Tannehill to Miller out of the backfield, runs out of bounds at the 45-yard line, chased out by Zach Brown, but that does stop the clock.
Yeah, and you can debate this. You know, it's all of us. I mean, who hasn't sat at home and thought if you were the head coach, I'd be more aggressive than these guys? Well, Dan Campbell in his first game, I think he's showing that. I mean, they had some early success on this drive. They started inside their 10-yard line, but the early success gives you the confidence, plus a 2-touchdown lead gives you some confidence that you're going to be able to do something. And I think they played it right up until the time where they, have started having to get into it with this timeout. I think they wasted that second timeout.
Pressure coming. Miami's offensive line does a good job picking it up. It allows Tannehill to find Rashard Matthews into Tennessee territory. From there, we're now thinking about a 61-yard field goal.
Well, this is Ryan Tannehill's best throw of the day here. He really rifled this thing out to the sideline. Rashard Matthews, that ball was up on time, on the money, had a nice pocket, but he knew exactly where he wanted to go with that football and deliver.
Andrew Franks, a rookie. His season long is 48 yards, but he does have a big leg. Hit from 54 in college. Tannehill, and another completion.
Now they've got to spike it on second down.
Matthews stays inbounds, so they've got to hustle to the line with no timeouts.
They're calling a play.
No. There's a penalty. I think there's a delay of game call or unsportsmanlike on the Titans, trying to delay the guy getting off the ground.
There are two flags down.
It's a tactic that guys use to bleed time off the clock.
Jeff Triplett, today's referee.
Delay of game, defense, number 25. Took the ball and threw it away after the play. It's a 5-yard penalty.
And Bleedy Ray Wilson, as you see, watch at the end of this play, he's going to make the tackle. And then he's going to make sure they can't get the football to spot it, which takes more time. You see there, watch this. Instead of handing it to him, he takes it away from the official. The official reaches for it, he takes it away from him and throws it away. That's a penalty.
So the penalty not only tacks on 5 yards, but also allows Miami to get to the line, stops the clock. And now Miami is looking at a 50-yard field goal for Franks. 23 seconds left. Tannehill, and it's intercepted. Cameron wasn't ready for it. Sensabaugh on the return, and Sensabaugh out of bounds. Oh, costly mistake for Ryan Tannehill and the Dolphins. His second interception today. And with Miami in field goal range, that pick will cost him a chance at 3.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate they played so well getting to this point in field goal range. Quarterback Ryan Tannehill, you got to be sure when you make a throw. This is what you worry about. It was a miscommunication, receiver breaking in. He wasn't on the same page with the quarterback. Ryan Tannehill throws the ball, and it hit. You're going to see. I mean, he thinks Jordan Cameron's going to sit down or something. I don't know what the thinking was, but now Marcus Mariota, 2 quick completions, he's in field goal range.
Second pick this season for Sensabaugh. First today by Tannehill. Mariota to McCluster, and he goes out of bounds after making the catch.
No, they're
saying he was out of bounds. That's what I thought. He caught the ball out of bounds.
Yeah, and you talk about a couple of quick completions. They're going to be very quick now. You see there, he caught the ball with his foot out. There's no question. That's
totally on him. I mean, he's got to know where he is on the football field.
Well, he wanted to make something more happen than was there.
Yeah, but you got to know where you're at, and he's good. I mean, there's no excuse for that. Yeah,
it's a mistake.
Tennessee with no timeouts. 9 seconds remain. Cameron Wake again coming, and Cameron Wake having a day in the first half. Miami with its 5th sack of the half, and that is how the first half comes to an end. Unbelievable pressure today by the Dolphins, something you haven't said all year for Miami. What a first half for interim head coach Dan Campbell and the Miami Dolphins. They lead it 17-3. We'll be back with the Verizon halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 50. Start of the third quarter in Nashville, and Miami has a 17-3 lead on Tennessee. Time now for Who Are You Lovin'? Presented by McDonald's. And on the opening drive, Ryan Tannehill hands it to Jarvis Landry for the first rushing touchdown this season by the Miami Dolphins. Back in the booth with Steve Berline and Steve Tasker, I'm Andrew Catalan. Where did this come from? From Miami. A season high in rush yards already with 132 yards on the ground and 4 sacks, all 4 by Cameron Wake. Steve Tasker, a totally different Miami team.
Well, you figured they'd get an emotional lift from the change in head coaches. That's the kind of guy Dan Campbell is. He's a fiery competitor, player-type guy, and they've responded, no question. And also, Campbell told us they were going to do some things to simplify it up front for those front 4 pass rushers, and certainly that pass rush has come alive as a result.
Tennessee Titans quarterback Marcus Mariota hit low in that first half, has not looked himself. Would you keep putting him out there, or what do you see from Mariota right now?
I've seen toughness out of Marcus Mariota. I mean, this guy is showing that his true colors. He's the warrior. Didn't even think about coming out of the game. I am going to be interested to see how he is able to function the second half. We mentioned several times as the first half was winding down that we think that knee might have tightened up over the course of halftime. We'll see if he can go out there and still function. I think that it's going to be a pretty short leash with Ken Wisenhunt, not based on performance, but based on what he thinks is best for Marcus Mariota.
He does have a brace now on, and Mariota and the Titans will get the ball to start the second half. Sankey on the kick return, and Sankey up to the 20-yard line. Here comes Marcus Mariota, who is 10 of 15 in the first half for 103 yards. No touchdowns and no interceptions, but he did turn the ball over.
2 fumbles, right?
2 fumbles for Mariota. Each team with 2 turnovers in the first half. Well, the third quarter has been a good quarter for Tennessee this year. They have a plus 31 point differential in the third, which is tied for the best mark in the NFL. And they need a spark here with just 3 points on the board. Tennessee outgained in the first half, 281 to 119. This is Andrews on the carry across the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Andrew, you just said 281 to 119. This Tennessee Titans defense average this year has been giving up 283 yards per game. They've already given up their average in the first half. Very, very impressive by the Miami Dolphins.
So Cameron Wake with the 4 sacks. The franchise record for Miami for sacks in a game is 4.5, which is held by Cameron Wake. Sankey goes in motion on 2nd and 7. And that pass is broken up and nearly intercepted. Brent Grimes closed quickly to get a hand on that one.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if Miami, and as you see them come out for the second half, they really did explode all over the Titans, and now they're starting to realize they probably had a chance to convert. So that ball got tipped halfway there. Looked like Ndamukong Suh tipped it halfway there as he was dropping out of the pass rush. But they've had a conversation on the Miami defensive side. You know that Mariota is not 100%, and they're going to make some decisions and play calls based on that.
Tennessee 0 for 4 on third downs in the first half. It's 3rd and 7. Mariota looking for Walker. He's got it at the 42 and up to midfield. A flag comes down back behind the play. Mariota went down again. Let's see if that's the call.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Number 50. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And that's the second
Vernon
time.
Again.
Yeah, Vernon he's the guy who rolled into and went low on Mariota, got the penalty in the first half, and he's the guy who goes in now, hits him right in the chest there.
Yeah, I don't know about that call as far as roughing the passer goes, but that Miami definitely came through and said, we are going to hit Marcus Mariota. They came with full all-out pressure right there, led by Olivier Vernon.
I think the only thing that I saw that might have been there was the fact that he used the top of his helmet in the chest. But there's no question they have got a target on Mariota, knowing that he can't move around like he normally does.
What a gutsy throw by him, though, to make that play up the field.
Tennessee at the Miami 38-yard line. Andrews wrapped up for a loss. Jelani Jenkins getting in the backfield. Jenkins 3rd on the team in tackles, adding to his total.
It's a great run, Phil. Watch as he reads this, goes right in behind Chance Warmack, the guard. And that's just a great linebacker play.
It is, but it's also poor play by Chance Warmack. They were double teaming the defensive lineman. Warmack's got to have his eyes back on that inside backer and fall back and get a piece of him.
5-yard loss makes it 2nd and 15. McCluster on the delayed handoff. And he gets across the 40 to the 39-yard line.
In our open, we spoke about the front four and how they had disappeared through the first few games of this season. Well, not today. Today, Cameron Wake, of course, with the 4 sacks, 4 tackles, and Ndamukong Suh's knocked down a couple of passes. Earl Mitchell has been in the backfield as well. And, of course, Olivier Vernon, now he's had a couple of tackles and a sack, but he's also had a couple of costly penalties. No question, their intensity has turned up on that front four.
5 sacks today by the Miami defense. And now 3rd down and 12 for Tennessee. Mariota looking for the screen, and Fasano is tripped up immediately. Koa Misi was not fooled, and Tennessee hearing some boos here by the home fans as Miami is forced to punt.
Watch Koa Misi right here, and right here is the tight end that's going to, Fasano is going to get the screen. Koa Misi was not fooled by this at all. He's just sitting there saying, I see you, Mr. Fasano. I'm not going anywhere. And what a great, smart play by Koa Misi.
So the defense of the Dolphins forces Brett Kern to come out, and Landry is awaiting the kick at the 10-yard line. High high short kick. Landry all the way up to the 20 with a fair catch. 11:37 to go. Dolphins lead by 2 touchdowns. Last month, the Tennessee Titans, St. Thomas Health, and the American Red Cross partnered together to host the Give and Get Blood Drive and Health Fair here at Nissan Stadium. Jason McCourty was the spokesman for the event. Jason and his twin brother Devin have spearheaded Tackle Sickle Cell, a campaign that aims to educate the public, increase blood donations, and raise money and awareness for the fight against sickle cell disease. McCourty is out there on defense for Tennessee. They trail 17-3. And here goes Landry, and he can't get past Derek Morgan. Miami has already set a season high in rush yards. They are getting it done on the ground.
They sure are. They're doing a lot of different ways. A lot of people involved. Ryan Tannehill right here. But really, it's been Lamar Miller. They've been doing a great job, a really efficient job of getting him the ball up inside. Right there was the first touchdown by Jarvis Landry. A little bit of a misdirection reverse, but pretty impressive all the way around up front.
134 yards rushing, and there was movement on the line. A flag is down.
It's a great job by Miami once again, reaching out.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense, number 9. 5-yard penalty. It's still second down.
The defender just jumped into the neutral zone, and Jawan James just reached out and touched his helmet.
Daquan Jones, the second-year man out of Penn State.
You jump in, just reach out, just touch. That's all you have to do is just touch and react, and that's a penalty. It's a free 5 yards.
Second down and 3. Miller. And with that carry, Lamar Miller goes over 100 yards rushing today. Coming in, he had 131 yards in the first 4 games of the season.
Yeah, Miami could not run the football, and when they did try to run it, they ran it so poorly, and they were falling behind in games. They stopped even trying to run it, and it got worse and worse and worse until today in Nashville.
Amazing what a turnaround it is with 137 on the ground. 4th time in Miller's career he's gone over 100 yards rushing. It's 1st and 10. Back on the ground. More Lamar Miller. Well, Dan Campbell said he wanted to get Lamar Miller going north-south, get him downhill, and you've seen that today with a big assist to the Miami Dolphins offensive line.
And they're doing a lot of different ways. Billy Lazor told us, the offensive coordinator told us, that they're really running the ball much more efficiently out of the gun. But right there, we saw a classic under center, just counter play. They've been doing it both ways today. No answer from the Tennessee Titans.
Not much doing on this running play for Miami. It'll be 3rd down.
And at this point of the season, we've talked about it a lot on our broadcast and in other games that we've done. The whole league is turning into a league where it's almost a given that it's run and stop the run. So teams are really focusing on really getting after the quarterback and getting turnovers. But today, Miami was one of those teams that really has shown their inability to run it, has hamstrung every other effort they've made. Today, they got it on track. And when you can run the football, the other team is really defenseless.
Let's see what they do on 3rd and 2. To the air. Tannehill trying to take a deep shot down the sideline. Incomplete. Jarvis Landry, the intended target, and Miami will have to punt for the first time today. The punter, Matt Darr, will come out. There is no flag down on the play.
I didn't like this call on 3rd down and short. I think you need, as kind of a rub play there. It's kind of a red zone play where you try and get into the fade right on the corner, but I don't like that play on 3rd and short, not after the success they've had.
Darr punting to McCluster. Fair catch called at the 14-yard line. 8:49 to go, 3rd quarter. It's a 17-3 game.
NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest. Transparency. Low fares, nothing to hide. Outback. For a limited time, steak and seafood is back. And by Hyundai, an official sponsor of the NFL.
Tennessee will start this drive at the 13-yard line. They trail 17-3, 8:49 to go, third quarter. Mariota over the middle, caught by Delaney Walker and wrapped up immediately by Jelani Jenkins. Tonight on 60 Minutes, Terrell Revis, one of the NFL's greatest on and off the field, plus the generous spirit and people behind Make-A-Wish. That's tonight, only CBS. Mariota, 13 of 19 for 123 yards. Did not throw a touchdown last week. We asked him, when was the last time in a game he didn't throw a touchdown pass? He goes, I honestly don't know. It was sometime in high school. He threw one in every game at Oregon. Does not have one again so far today. Tennessee on the ground. And it's going to be third down for the Titans. Bishop Sankey just gets back to the line of scrimmage.
It's important, I think, for Ken Wisenhunt to keep this game under control, not to put too much on Marcus Mariota, drop back and throw it every time. That's what the Dolphins want him to do right now, and they want to beat the you-know-what out of him. But we're only 2 scores down if you're the Tennessee Titans. So you say, hey, we got to just continue with our game plan, see if we can put a drive together, get within 1 score. A lot of pressure up here in the box.
On third down, Mariota, McCluster makes the catch for a first down, but there are 2 flags down on the play. And it appears to be holding against the Titans.
Yeah, I think Jamon Meredith is going to get called.
Holding 79 in the offense. Half the distance to goal. Still third down.
Jamon Meredith in the game for Jeremiah Patasi. Right at the end of the line, right here on Cameron Wake, and he just spins Wake around.
Well, he's been overwhelmed all day.
Yeah. Well, Cameron Wake turned into Superman about 5 minutes into this game.
Well, they got to find some way to slow him down, whether it be as a tight end or a running back. Meredith can't handle him right now.
So it's third down and 13. Mariota has plenty of time, throws to Kendall Wright, slips a tackle, and he's got the first down. Excellent effort by Kendall Wright for a gain of 16.
Excellent effort by Kendall Wright, but I cannot tell you how impressed I am with Marcus Mariota. All the things that have gone against him in this game, he's hurt, he's been beat up all the way through, he's had bad situations thrown upon him. He's standing strong in that pocket and making throws and showing me that he is the real deal.
I'll tell you what, they've got to get their protections problem fixed or Marcus Mariota won't finish this game.
You're right.
Fasano in motion on 1st and 10. It's McCluster trying the left side. McCluster across the 25. And now there's an injured Dolphin down at the 24-yard line. It's Jamar Taylor who's just gotten up. And he's waving off the sideline. He says he wants to stay on the field.
One thing about this Tennessee team that we kind of lost track of is they are number 2 in the National Football League at time of possession. They're very good at grinding out first downs. They're really good at staying on the field offensively. The Dolphins have done a great job today of taking them out of that, getting some sacks, putting pressure on Mariota, and getting them off the field. The question is, can Tennessee get back to what they're doing and stay with their game plan and not get too impatient with big plays?
Inside 6 minutes to go, third quarter. It's 2nd down and 9. Mariota, quick pass is picked. Rashad Jones has a bunch of blockers, and Jones dives for a pick-6 touchdown.
Well, this is a play that Marcus Mariota has had great success with all year. Quick fake on the play action, throwing a slant. But you're going to see right here, that play is very well anticipated and jumped on right. I mean, it was like he was sitting there waiting on it. Rashad Jones, brilliant game planning, execution, film study, whatever you want to call it. He knew that ball was coming to Delaney Walker on the inside. Yeah. You got to give Lou Anarumo, the defensive staff, everybody credit for that.
That's film study. A guy making a play, being prepared in the right spot, and having the courage to jump a route where he may get beat if they do a pump fake. That was a great play.
Second career pick six for Rashad Jones, and the extra point is low but good. Andrew Franks knocks it through with 5:40 to go. Rashad Jones playing at a high level this year in Miami with Dan Campbell a 24-3 lead. Miami had not scored more than 20 points in a game this season, but after the pick six touchdown by Rashad Jones, it's 24-3 in favor of the Dolphins. They've looked like a completely different team today, getting after the quarterback and running the ball on offense.
They're looking like the team that many people were expecting to see coming into the season.
Sankey on the kickoff return. And Sankey's still going up to the 30-yard line. Nice return by Bishop Sankey. Been a tough day for Marcus Mariota. Got hit in the first half, has turned the ball over by fumble twice, and the latest turnover, the interception for a touchdown by Rashad Jones.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Auto Trader. Life happens one car search at a time. And by McDonald's, now serving all-day breakfast.
5:32 to go, third quarter, and Tennessee trying to get back in this game. Mariota's pass incomplete on first down, looking for Justin Hunter.
That was a complete mix-up. Justin Hunter had no idea he was even involved in the play. And Mariota, fortunately, threw the ball too high and out of bounds.
We're starting to discuss this during the breaks about how long you leave Marcus Mariota in. And from my view, if he's healthy, I think you do leave him in. He's got a lot of football he needs to learn about the NFL. And you can learn a lot of good football in the fourth quarter of bad football games.
But he's not healthy. So the question is, how long is that? And I agree. I think you leave him in for a little bit longer. But you're rolling the dice.
Antonio Andrews spun down for a loss. Shepard and Vernon, and this Miami defense is flying to the football.
Well, now you got a problem because now it's going to be third and very long. You know you got to throw the football. The Miami Dolphins are really coming after Marcus Mariota, and I think in this situation, the way he is, you go max protection. You got to keep the tight end in, the back end to protect him, and give the guys on the outside a chance to make some separation. But you got to protect him first.
Third down and 14. Inside 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Mariota, a screen pass to McCluster. Gets a block from Warmack, but not much more than that. And a very quick 3 and out. And then after the play, Delaney Walker and Bobby McCain exchanging pleasantries. But the Miami defense again forces Brett Kern, the punter, to come out.
Yeah, you got to know coming in for that series, you just threw a pick six. If you're Marcus Mariota, then the bad part of it is not only do they score on you, you got to go right back out and take another snap after the kickoff.
Third punt today for Brett Kern, and Landry awaiting it at the 26-yard line. Good kick by Kern, driving Landry back inside the 15. Landry up to the 20. Landry down the sideline. There is a flag down. Jarvis Landry still going and finally brought down. But there is a flag way back at the 11-yard line where Landry made the catch. There's also an injured Titan down at the 31-yard line.
Damian Stafford stayed down.
And Stafford now up. And everyone is walking back toward that flag, which certainly gives you the indication this is going against the Dolphins.
You could see it coming.
Here in the return, illegal block in the back. Return team number 49. Hefty distance to the goal. First down, timeout.
Special teams coach Darren Rizzi not happy with the penalty on Zach Vigil. So Miami backed up to start this drive. game summer here in Nashville. All Miami Dolphins. Cameron Wake with 4 sacks today, and the Titans have turned it over 3 times, all 3 by Marcus Mariota, who's had a tough day at the office. 1st and 10 for the Dolphins. Backed up after the penalty on Vigil, and Lamar Miller on the ground.
Well, guys, we all have been talking this whole weekend. We all had a very, very sneaky feeling this Dolphin team was going to come out very motivated today. Dan Campbell, his energy is pumped in. The timing could not have been better. Not that I advocate making coaching changes early in the season, but this is one that had to be done, and I think Dan Campbell's a perfect fit, and this team has come out and not disappointed with their effort today.
Low snap, Tannehill fields it, and the pass is juggled and broken up, incomplete. It'll be 3rd down.
You talk about that before we get to this 3rd down. Dan Campbell, you're changing the coaches, but you know what? There's 11 games left in the season, and rarely do you see interim coaches, hey, we're going to turn it over to the interim coach and let him keep the job. But I'll tell you what, with 11 games left and the way they started, you play like this, you're going to be in a much different place than you thought you were going to be when you made the head coaching change.
3rd down and 8. Dolphins 3 for 5 on 3rd downs today. After 2 weeks ago, they went 0 for 12 against the Jets. Tannehill in trouble, and Tannehill is sacked. A much-needed 3 and out forced by the Tennessee defense. Give that sack to Brian Orakpo.
Well, the defense finally steps up for Tennessee. They have gotten a couple turnovers today, but right here they needed the big 3 and out like you guys were talking about, Andrew, and now you're going to get your offensive ball back with good field position, presumably.
No defense has forced more 3 and outs this year percentage-wise than Tennessee. And they get one here with 2:20 to go, 3rd quarter. Dar punting out of his own end zone. McCluster with a fair catch at his own 48-yard line. Saturday, the SEC on CBS brings you the best game from the best conference when the Vols battle the Crimson Tide. It all begins with college football today.
But by the same token, we're talking about what Miami has done today. What Tennessee has not won a home game in over a year, as you pointed out, Andrew, and they're 1-3. They lost 2 heartbreakers the last 2 weeks. They're a team that really we expected to come out and play with a lot more fire as well, and they've just been overwhelmed today.
Last home win, October 12th of last year against the Jaguars. Mariota over the middle, and that pass is caught. Green Beckham spinning his way to the 20-yard line before Nisi finally caught up to him. A gain of 32.
Now, there's no question. Doyle Green Beckham is an enormous physical specimen, and they're waiting for him to blossom. They need a guy like this. He is a true physical #1 receiver. What he lacks is reps. And when he gets that experience, there's no question he could be a force.
And this part of the field is where he's most dangerous. We're going to see him split out to the bottom. He is a guy that you want to put the ball up and just give him a chance to make a play.
A career-long catch of 32 yards for Green Beckham. This time it's Andrews trying to get around the left side of the 15, and Andrews does a nice job to pick up 7 on that play.
Well, Tennessee, to their credit, we've seen them this year. This is, and we said it last week in their game, this is not the same team that earned the 2nd overall pick in the draft that they were a year ago. They're much more talented on defense, as we saw finally in that last series. But up to this point of the season, their defense has been very good. And offensively, they're much more, they might have a lot more weapons than they did a year ago as well. And they've got a lot more character.
Andrews goes up to the top of your screen. Mariota in the shotgun now on 2nd and 3. Mariota to a wide open Fasano inside the 5, still moving the pile. It's 1st and goal for Tennessee. Anthony Fasano played 5 years for the Dolphins. And Dan Campbell was his tight ends coach for a couple of those years.
Well, I was pretty impressive by Mariota going through his progression, finding the big target on the outside. And This is the Tennessee team, Steve, that you mentioned, really playing much better this year. They could very easily be 3-1. If they get a touchdown right here, they're back in this ball game.
They spread it out on 1st and goal. Could be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Now McCluster next to Mariota. Mariota, wide open end zone, and he overthrew Kendall Wright.
Yeah, he knows it too. That's on Mariota.
Completely on Mariota. Kendall Wright on the inside, right there, number 13, uncovered to the back of the end zone. It's one of those where you look at it and it hurts. Trust me. And sometimes, though, look at how disappointed he is. The wide open receiver, a lot of times, is the hardest throw to make because you just, I can't mess this one up, and you get tentative and
looking like a true quarterback.
Boy, it's tough.
5 seconds to go, 3rd quarter. It's 2nd and goal. Quick pass to McCluster up the middle, and he's in for a touchdown.
Oh, I love that play call.
First touchdown of the season for Dexter McCluster.
We have not seen that play out of Tennessee yet, and that is a great play called at just the right moment. They've struggled in pass protection. Out of the shotgun, you make it look like Mariota's going to have a chance to go through his progression, and it is a very quick pass.
It's a middle screen.
Yeah, and it's just a great play call, well executed right up front. Rashad Jones had no chance to defend that. That ball happened, was completed so fast. He made the tackle for a 3-yard gain. Unfortunately, that's all they needed for the touchdown.
It's almost like a little shovel pass inside, but it was a middle screen set up with the lineman getting up on the linebackers. Very well executed.
A 5-play, 52-yard drive that only took 2 minutes and 15 seconds off the clock. So a quick strike by Tennessee. Here is Suckup for the extra point. He is 199 for 199 in his career on extra points. His 200th straight is good. And that is the final play of the 3rd quarter. Tennessee finally finds the end zone. Mariota to McCluster. We're back to Nashville after this message and a word from your local station. Tennessee plus 31 points of differential this year in the 3rd quarter. They play that one even with Miami after the touchdown by McCluster. And to start the 4th, it's a 24-10 lead for the Dolphins. Steve Berline and Steve Tasker. I'm Andrew Catalan, our entire NFL on CBS crew. Damian Williams is going to return this kickoff by Suckup, and Williams is crunched at the 20-yard line. Your weekend starts here with the Seahawks and the 49ers. It's a showdown out west. Thursday Night Football on CBS and NFL Network. So a quick strike by the Titans on offense. They make it a 2-touchdown game as we begin the 4th quarter, and that Miami offense, which has rushed for 148 yards today, will start this drive at the 22-yard line. Lamar Miller with 113 of the 148. Tannehill on 1st down, and that pass is broken up by Denoris Searcy. Jordan Cameron, the intended target.
That was a really nice play by Searcy, right? The good play action, fake to reverse, long developing play, and Searcy, perfect read, perfect position, man coverage against the big tight end Jordan Cameron. That's a super play by Denoris Searcy.
Searcy wears number 21 because he was very close with his grandmother, who was born in 1921. They used to watch Monday Night Football together all the time. His grandmother, Virginia. And on 2nd down, not much doing again. So Tennessee just forced a 3-and-out on defense, and now Miami with another 3rd and long right here.
Well, it is amazing how one play or one series can energize a team. The offense did their job. First, it was a result of the great 3-and-out previous drive by the defense. The offense does their job, and now defense stepping up. The fans get into it. They know that if they can hold the Dolphins right here, they can make it a 1-score ball game.
Ryan Tannehill is 0 for 3 this half. And now faced with 3rd down and 10. Titans are coming with pressure. Tannehill is sacked. Wesley Woodyard with his second sack of the season and the second straight 3 and out by the Miami offense.
Well, this is the Titan defense we've seen all year. They have a great up front four, and they're very exotic. You see the loop on the inside, and what a great pass rush from Casey right there. As Wesley Woodyard actually, what a great stunt up front, and that's why Dick LeBeau and staff have really done a great job. That is the defense we've seen.
Short punt. McCluster gets a running start at midfield. McCluster at the 40. Great field position for the Titans with 13:15 to go here in the fourth quarter. There is a flag back at the 10-yard line. And this is going to go against the Dolphins.
If you're Ken Wisenhunt, this is exactly what you want to see out of your team.
Holding, kicking team, number 46. That 10-yard penalty is going to be added to the end of the play. First down. Timeout.
Wesley Woodyard, his second sack of the season. It comes on third down, and the Titans have the ball back. On that last drive for Tennessee, 5 plays, 52 yards in 2 minutes and 15 seconds to make it a 24-10 game. It was McCluster who capped it off, and now to start this drive after the penalty, Tennessee is at the Miami 27-yard line.
And I would expect Ken Wisenhunt to come out and be very aggressive right here. You got the momentum, you got the energy going right, your offense is fired up. I think you come out with a nice hard play action and try and hit somebody up the field. If it's not there, your quarterback hopefully makes a good decision, safe with the football, but I think you take a shot right here.
Justin Hunter is the receiver at the bottom of your screen, matched up with Jamar Taylor, who's playing for the injured Bryce McCain. Walker in motion. Play action. Mariota taking that shot, and it's intercepted. What a play by Brent Grimes. Steve Berline, you called it. They tried to take a shot, but Brent Grimes made a diving pick, and Miami gets the ball back.
Well, you had exactly what you want, one of your biggest receivers on one of the smallest DBs, but I think Mariota underthrew that ball. It's got to be up and over the top where only your guy can get it. Grimes just made a spectacular play on the ball, but I think Mariota would like to have another shot at that one, put it up over the top.
That's the 4th turnover today by Marcus Mariota. 2 fumbles, 2 interceptions, and Brent Grimes with his second pick of the year.
I love the play call. I love everything except the final execution by the quarterback.
Now, Ken Wisenhunt has thrown his red challenge flag.
Well, at the end of the play, Fasano came up with the ball. The question is, I think, in Ken Wisenhunt's mind is, was Grimes ever touched down? Maybe Fasano took the ball out before he was touched down.
But he's not allowed to challenge because it was a turnover, and all turnovers are reviewed automatically back in New York.
That's a great point.
So he's not allowed to throw that red flag.
Well, you know this, too.
Hold on, here we go.
As the play was an interception, by rule, it cannot be challenged by either team. Since Tennessee threw the challenge flag, they would be charged a timeout.
Well, he did that deliberately. Ken Wisenhunt knows that, but they'll throw the challenge flag at Coach Will to bring attention to the fact that you need to review it.
Well, it's going to be reviewed anyway. It's a turnover. All turnovers are reviewed.
Steve, I don't know if he did that intentionally.
Listen,
I mean, he knows well enough
I'm
that it's going to be reviewed.
I'm telling you, he told us this yesterday that you gotta know. I mean, we've seen other teams do it. Marvin Lewis threw the challenge flag illegally.
That was the only time that happened, and he just cost himself a timeout.
Yeah, he did, but I think he knows that there's an issue with the way that play turned out.
So, Tennessee now with just 2 timeouts remaining, and it's 1st and 10. Tannehill out of his own end zone. Trying a deep shot down the sideline. He's got 20 Kenny Stills, who slips down. And they're saying he wasn't down. Now they are. What a job by Kenny Stills to adjust to that football for a 37-yard gain.
I absolutely love the mentality. We talked about it on the last throw by Mariota. Come out and go after the jugular. I think when you're backed up in your own end zone, especially with the rules the way they are today with the PI, illegal contact, I think it's the best call in the world when you're backed up in your own end zone. Throw the ball deep down the sideline. You're going to get a completion or a PI 50% of the time.
So how about that? Turning the field position around. Now Miami all the way up to the 40-yard line, and they'll go to Lamar Miller. And Daquan Jones, Zach Brown closing quickly for Tennessee defensively.
When you go back and look at this game for the Tennessee Titans, the one statistic that's going to be different than any of the games they've had this year is the turnovers, the fumbles, and the interceptions. And that's the one thing that has really given Miami the chance to sustain the momentum that, well, they earned it, no question. Miami's playing good. But Tennessee has played well defensively, but because of the turnovers, they've been out there way too much, and Miami has been able to sustain their momentum.
Tannehill over the middle to Matthews at the 40. Rashard Matthews upended by Cersei at the 35-yard line. What a strike from Tannehill. They pick up 24.
Well, this is the way you want to see your franchise quarterback respond. He comes out when challenged. The momentum is all in Tennessee's way. He's made two beautiful throws from the pocket. Big strike plays, big-time throws. That's exactly what Dan Campbell wants to see out of his quarterback.
Rashard Matthews only averaged 22 plays per game last year. This season, 45 plays a game, and he's made a big impact for this Miami receiving corps. Tannehill back to the air. Fires left, and that one's caught by Landry for another Miami first down.
You talk about this receiving corps, Jarvis Landry there making that catch, but Matthews has really come into this game as a guy who started in place of Greg Jenkins and made the big difference. 6 catches today. And the fact that Tannehill is finding both these guys spreading the football around is an enormous difference, having guys that are really making plays for him at the other end of his throws.
Defensive tackle Earl Mitchell in at fullback here for Miami on first down. And they give it to Lamar Miller. And a flag comes in from behind the play. Zach Brown made the tackle, but this is going to be a holding call against Miami.
Holding, number 63, offense. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
And now there's an injured Titan down at the 21-yard line. We've seen a lot of injuries today, including the one to the center for Tennessee, Schwenke, who appeared to be very serious leg injury. Clock is stopped with 10:27 to go. We're not able to see just yet who it is. We'll come back with an update in a moment.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Dodge. T-Mobile. Ditch your carrier and switch to the Un-carrier. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Nose tackle Al Woods was the injured Titan. He walked off under his own power now on the Tennessee sideline. Watching this first down and 20 play for the Dolphins as we approach 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Play action. Pressure coming. Tannehill gets rid of it to Miller. He's got some room to run. Lamar Miller all the way up to the 20-yard line. It's actually Jonas Gray who was in it running back. So that's his first catch today.
Yeah, this is a Miami team that you can tell. Now, they've turned it up all day today, no question about it. You have to go back and look. Where was this for the first month of the season? Because they're not running a different offense and they're not running a different defense.
Tannehill 4 for 4 on this drive. And that time, it's a first down run by Jonas Gray. Actually, they're going to mark him just short. It'll be third.
And Steve Berline, how much can you lay this on the lap of Joe Philbin?
Well, I would never put the blame on Joe Philbin, but I do believe that the team needed a burst of new energy, new positive energy, a wake-up call. The bye week came at the right time. I think Ryan Tannehill has a sense of urgency to him, the way he's playing today. I think this whole team has gotten the message. They need to step up, and they're doing it.
3rd down and 1. Up the middle with Gray. He's got the first down. It's 1st and goal, Miami.
Yeah, as you talk about it, you see this Miami team going in to really try and put this football game away. But all that's transpired over the last 2 weeks, and there's an adage that, there's certainly no question that a head coach can give a team a personality. And this team has a different personality today than they showed in the first month of the season.
26 runs today, 28 passes for the Dolphins. They've gotten back to that balance that they want, and now 1st and goal. On the ground again with Gray to the 5. And the one thing that stood out, you're talking about the new energy that Campbell brings. We met with Ryan Tannehill and Cameron Wake last night, and they both said the same thing. Dan Campbell's been in our shoes. Cameron Wake said he's sat in our chair before. He can relate to what we go through as players, and that seems to have resonated with this Miami team.
Another thing, too, he intensified practices. They turned up the intensity of these practices, and he said, and it was a brilliant move, I thought, by Dan Campbell, great players need to be challenged.
Ready?
2nd and goal. Tannehill throws to the end zone, wide open, touchdown. Deion Sims with his first touchdown of the season. What a drive by Ryan Tannehill and the Dolphins. On that drive, Tannehill was 5 of 5 for 89 yards.
Well, that's sweet revenge for Ryan Tannehill and Deion Sims. You'll recall earlier in the year when Deion Sims was injured, it was on a pass. He was wide open in the end zone from Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill missed him. He slammed his head on the turf and got a concussion. Today, Tannehill does not miss him. Wide open. It's a touchdown. Everybody's happy.
9 plays, 97 yards for Miami. Just as Tennessee had gotten some of the momentum in this ball game, Miami with a big drive to swing the momentum back in their favor. Deion Sims in the end zone and the Dolphins pulling away. Fourth touchdown in the career of Deion Sims, the third-year man out of Michigan State. I'm sure he enjoyed the ending yesterday in Ann Arbor. On the return, it's Bishop Sankey. And Sankey up to the 25-yard line. Well, for the 3rd straight game, Marcus Mariota has thrown an interception in the 4th quarter. Week 3 against Indianapolis, it was Dwight Lowery who picked off Mariota. Last week, it was Stephon Gilmore to seal the game, and with momentum, it's Brent Grimes today who picks Mariota. Marcus Mariota has turned the ball over 4 times with the 2 picks and the 2 fumbles.
Well, I'm more convinced now than ever this guy's the real deal. He's having one of those days we knew he was going to have at some point, looking like a rookie quarterback, but he has shown a lot of good things today in his toughness and in his ability to fight through some really difficult situations.
6th catch of the day for Delaney Walker is good for a Tennessee first down. 7:15 to go, 4th quarter. Over the middle, and another catch by Walker. Rashad Jones makes the tackle. Well, the one thing that Mariota showed today, without a doubt, is toughness, because that hit by Vernon Lowe certainly took a toll on Mariota. He was affected by it, but the fact that he didn't even come out for a play, I think showed his teammates a little something. There's a flag down as Jamon Meredith was all over Cameron Wake. It's been a rough day on the right side for both Meredith and Patasi trying to guard Cameron Wake.
Holding, number 79 offense. 10-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
In the big picture, there's no question this game got away from Tennessee, but also you wonder, Marcus Mariota has a long way to go in his NFL career. He's going to be here for a long, long time, and he'll have better days than this. But I'll never forget a statement that Peyton Manning made to our crew at the time. He said, I learned after he'd gone through a horrendous rookie year, I learned a lot of good football in the fourth quarter, some bad football games. And I think Marcus Mariota is the kind of player who, even right now in this game, as the clock winds down, his wheels are still turning. And he's still got some things he can get out of this game in the long run.
Pressure coming. Mariota gets rid of it to McCluster. Makes a nice move with the 38. McCluster still going. And McCluster all the way up to a couple of yards shy of a first down. Good extra effort by Dexter McCluster.
You can't help but love the way this guy plays the game. He's by far the smallest guy in the field, but boy, is he a fun guy to watch when he's carrying the football. Hard to get a piece of. He doesn't ever quit, doesn't ever back down. Just gets right back up and keeps going.
3rd down and 2. Mariota's pass deflected and incomplete. And if you're Tennessee, in 6 minutes to go, you might as well just go for it.
Exactly. Frustrating for Ken Wisenhunt. He really believes he's got a good football team, or a potentially very good young football team. And the last couple weeks have been heartbreakers, or the last couple games have been heartbreakers. Did not expect to come out and get handled like this today against the Miami Dolphins team, but we kind of felt like they were running into a buzzsaw.
Tennessee is 3 for 3 on 4th downs this year. This is 4th and 2. Mariota's pass is incomplete. It was high, and Douglas was not able to bring it in, and Miami's defense again comes up with a big stand. Douglas a little shaken up. Dolphins are getting the ball back when we come back to Nashville.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Verizon. Watch live primetime games with NFL Mobile only on Verizon. And by Subway, the legendary sweet onion chicken teriyaki. Subway, eat fresh.
Following the 4th down stop by the Miami defense, it's 1st and 10 for the Dolphins at the Tennessee 48-yard line. Damian Williams in at running back, and Miami will just try to run down the clock and get out of here with a win and stop their 3-game losing streak. And credit all around for Miami today, but specifically that defense. With just 1 sack through 4 games, they have exploded today with 5 sacks of Marcus Mariota, 2 forced fumbles, a pick 6. Just had a 4th down stop. They have done it all. They've come to life here for the first time really this season. Lou Anarumo, the defensive coordinator, promoted from his position coach at secondary as Tannehill goes to the air, and a short pass to Sims turns into a nice gain. Deion Sims for the first down. Anarumo, when we met with him last night, he was very confident, and he knows that he's never been a coordinator at the NFL level. We told you the only time he's ever been a defensive coordinator was at the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy.
It's very similar.
Yeah,
very
a little similar.
Yeah.
Dan Campbell said, I have nervous energy, but we asked Anarumo, and he goes, you know what? I'm from New York. I'm not nervous. Let's get out there and play. He was very confident, and his defense responded. A Staten Island native, Lou Anarumo. Dolphins keeping it on the ground, where they have a season high in rush yards. Monday, October 26th, to find out why critics are saying Supergirl is the TV superhero we've been waiting for. Supergirl premieres Monday, October 26th, after a new Big Bang Theory, only CBS.
I don't know about you guys. I've been waiting for Supergirl.
Absolutely.
I mean, I can't wait. That's the thing I want to see. I want to see what that's all about.
Zach Mettenberger is loosening up on the Tennessee sideline, so if the Titans get the ball back, it looks like Mariota's day is done. Tannehill in trouble. Flag is down. Tannehill escapes and just runs out of bounds.
Yeah, Tennessee definitely offsides before that snap.
side defense, number 33. The 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
That goes against Michael Griffin. Ken Wisenhunt said this week, make no mistake, we're close. And they have been competitive in those 3 losses, even coming back against the Browns week 2. But a different story today. There is Mettenberger loosening up. 2nd and 1 for Miami, following the penalty on Griffin. Jonas Gray has the first down inside the 15-yard line.
Well, both Jonas Gray and Lamar Miller have really been running that ball very confidently today for the Miami Dolphins. The mentality set, the mindset that Dan Campbell wanted to promote and pump into his team has definitely come through both sides of the ball. Those big boys up front have responded. The runners have been going north and south, and they're bringing it every play.
Well, one of the differences has been the situation of the game. They got off to a faster start, scored on their first possession. They got a chance to keep the score tight and stick with their running game.
Final 3 minutes here in Nashville. Gray. And he's wrapped up. Well, Dan Campbell has fond memories against the Titans. His first NFL touchdown came against Tennessee back in 2000 as a member of the Giants. Kerry Collins to Dan Campbell. He said he messed up the spike. He was so nervous it came out sideways. That was his first touchdown.
Said he still got the football.
He still got the football, and his first win as a head coach is also now going to come against the Tennessee Titans. Gray again. Campbell admitted that over the last 2 weeks, he's just been so consumed by this job that even at his son's high school football game Friday night, all he was really thinking about was the Dolphins. And he goes, you know what? For the first game, I think that's okay, but I got to find a better balance going forward. I can't handle all this. 2-minute warning here in Nashville. Miami on the verge of ending its 3-game losing streak. Final 2 minutes in Nashville. Long day for Marcus Mariota and the Titans, who still have not won a home game since October 12th of last year. This will be their 8th straight home loss. And they'll fall to 1-4 with a date against the Falcons coming up next week. 3rd down and 8, and Tannehill is in the shotgun. Looks to throw, fires end zone, caught, touchdown, Jordan Cameron. He makes the tee for his son Tristan. That's what he does after every touchdown. That's his first as a Miami Dolphin.
Well, just a really nice play in this situation. Jordan Cameron, the free agent, came over this year from the Cleveland Browns. A big pickup. He's turned out to be everything they've wanted and more, and he's going to continue to get better as he develops in his relationship with Ryan Tannehill. That ball put up high where Cameron could go up and get it. That's what Mariota should have done with his throw a little bit earlier. Let the big man go up and get it. He's going to come down with it most of the time.
So Dan Campbell, the tight ends coach, and the Miami tight ends have 2 touchdowns today. Andrew Franks with the extra point. Miami with 38 points. They were averaging 16 per game. Coming up next, it's a quarterback showdown when Phillip Rivers and the Chargers challenge Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, or the Ravens rough it out with the 49ers. Check your local listings.
Well, there's no way that Dan Campbell could have anticipated his debut to go as well as today has. Absolutely in his wildest dreams. He was hoping to squeak one out, and he got a nice one to start it off. And you think about this Miami Dolphins team, we all had high expectations for them coming into the season. I really thought they were going to be one of the contenders in the AFC. Guess what? There's time. This team, you get confidence going, you get a roll going, you can make an impact down the stretch. All you got to do is get in.
That's right. And you hate to say, it's just one game, but there is a lot of football to be played in 2015.
Biggest thing going against the Dolphins in that regard is the division they play in. The AFC East has the highest win percentage of any division in football. New England 4-0 going into a game against the Colts later tonight, and the Jets are on the verge of improving to 4-1. But there's no doubt that if Miami plays like this, they could make some noise going forward. Marcus Mariota's day is done. Zach Mettenberger now at quarterback.
If you go back, and I know it's crazy after this short a time, but before coming into this weekend, 3 teams in the AFC East are in the playoff picture. They're the top 3 of the top 6 teams in the conference. So there's something to be said for that division that Miami's got to climb into.
So Mettenberger will finish off this game for the Titans. And Green Beckham makes that catch out of bounds for a Tennessee first down. Green Beckham had 3 catches the first 4 games. He's got 3 catches today, and there's the division. The highest win percentage of any division in football. Meanwhile, the division the Titans are in, the AFC South, has the worst winning percentage of any division in football. Now, that's just a bad drop by Bishop Sankey. A lot of Dolphins fans here in Nashville. Wonder if Dan Campbell will get the Gatorade bath here today.
I would suspect it's coming at some point here.
1:45 to go. Next week, the Dolphins have a home game against Houston. Mettenberger over the middle. With 95 seconds to go. Don't forget, stay tuned for the NFL Today update presented by FanDuel. Time permitting, join JP, Tony, Bart, Boomer, and Coach Cower for all the latest NFL scores and highlights. And on that last catch, Delaney Walker is shaken up. Walker's been a busy guy today with 8 catches for 96 yards.
Difficult to see there where that might have been. He did get hampered by a little bit of a hip pointer at the end of last week's game here. He went up high for a ball, came down. Might have been on that same hit. And Steve Berline, you know this. When you get a hurt in one game, you try and get through the next game without getting it re-hurt. And sometimes it doesn't take much. And, man, it hurts worse the second time.
Sankey drops another, and he pays the price as well. That was the rookie Neville Hewitt, undrafted out of Marshall, closing quickly on Sankey, and it's 4th down. Dan Campbell joined the Dolphins as a coaching intern in 2010. Promoted to tight ends coach in 2011. And then named interim head coach here from Miami. And he is going to walk away with a win in his first game as head coach. 4th down and 4. Mettenberger, nowhere to go. He'll keep it himself, taken down from behind, and he got enough for a first down.
Now you talk about Dan Campbell and this Dolphins team going forward. Campbell is one of those guys, he went right into coaching from the field, and on the way back from the London game, he told us, this is before any of the changes were made, before there was anything on the wind of that. He was writing down the things he could do to help his guys and the changes he thought they needed to make going forward to make a difference for this team. And that's the kind of thing that a future head coach does. They're always thinking about helping their guys play better than they have been. And lo and behold, after that flight they get off, things change, and he gets to put everything that he wrote down on that flight, he gets to implement it.
He said, I've already got a list. I've already got a list made up.
Mettenberger takes a shot down the field, and Justin Hunter makes the catch at the 28-yard line with 30 seconds to go. Titans do have one timeout, and Mettenberger will spike it with 16 seconds remaining. Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Dolphins. So we mentioned that next week they will have a home game against Houston. And then Thursday night football at New England on October 29th.
That is a gauntlet of road games there. New England, Buffalo, and Philly. Wow. That's their season right there.
Mettenberger fires right back to Hunter down at the 13-yard line. And Ken Wisenhunt is not going to call timeout. Dan Campbell gets the Gatorade bath. Whoa, now the Titans have called timeout with 4 seconds to go. Wisenhunt's going to give him a chance to throw one in the end zone. But Dan Campbell said he spent most of the week with the defense. Didn't know them as well since he was the tight ends coach. Well, he's getting a lot of hugs from everyone on that sideline. The first interim head coach to win in his first game since Romeo Crennel back in 2011 with the Chiefs. As soon as we're done here, we'll have bonus coverage of Denver and Cleveland coming your way here on the NFL on CBS. Well, this should be the final play of the game. Ken Wisenhunt wanted to allow Mettenberger to try to fire one in the end zone. Mettenberger is sacked, and that's a fitting way for Miami to close out this game. 6th sack for Miami, and they win it 38-10. Let's go back to New York and James Brown.
So Dan Campbell turns it around. His Miami Dolphins played with some edge. Cameron Wake, despite nursing a bad